What's up, people? I am back. We are continuing on with the Alien franchise. Sorry about that. It's always like an airplane or a helicopter flying overhead. But we are on Alien Resurrection. Tomorrow, I'm just gonna reiterate really quick. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be fixing Jurassic Park 3, which I really am down for. We'll see. I can see what I can do with that. But right now, I am gonna review Alien Resurrection. So this is the fourth film. This one came out in 1997. I can. I tried rewatching it last night. I didn't watch all of it. I still know. I remember how it ends. I've seen this movie before. It's not good. I can't front. Like I think there's good parts. I think the first half's the better part, but I'm gonna say it. That newborn fucking that was just weird. I really hate how they just kind of kill the queen off like the way they do. She just gets fucking yanked, killed by that newborn thing. I think that was bullshit. I don't know if maybe they just didn't want to use the queen animatronic. I just did not like that. You just killed unceremoniously, killed the queen. Especially because how badass she was, and this was the first time we've seen the queen since Aliens. So, because she wasn't in Alien 3. So it was like we're finally seeing the queen again, and you just kill it. And then I think it just ends very abruptly. I think it had just I really feel like there should have been maybe one more thing that happens. I just feel like it was very unceremonious ending. I think Ripley was good, even though it was very much a contrived reason she's back because she's a clone. I think a lot of the human characters were. I'm sorry, they were besides like Ron Perlman and just in general. As an actor, I'm probably kind of a shithead in real life nowadays, but as an actor, I like him. So I was like, all right, but everybody else, you have the dude who was the bad guy in The Crow. Uh, if I remember, I think his name is T Bird. He was that guy is in this movie. Um, Not very long. He dies fairly early. So I guess we'll start. The film is set to it's 200 years after the third movie, and um, we're on a spaceship called the UN Auriga, and they have a clone Ripley. You basically the film just kind of starts off. You see them kind of experiment on her. One of the doctors is Dr. Jettiman, played by Brad Dourif. I'll admit he's kind of cool, and it's just because it's Brad Dourif. So, they kind of just experiment on her. That's kind of really the first half of this movie. Not half, but like the first 30 or so minutes is very much them just kind of experimenting on her. So we're introduced to General Perez, who's just, dude, all he does is just yell. That's his role in this movie. Like, at least Alien 3, you can have your issues, but Alien 3 had decent characters. I think, just checking something. The aliens in this one, I just feel like were very, not the aliens, the humans in this were just, aside from Ron Perlman's character, oh, and the dude in the wheelchair, you had a few, but a lot of the characters were just there. This movie just, I think, is kind of weirdly paced. So he doesn't like the Ripley experiment, whatever. Um, then Jettiman hires a crew led by Frank Elgin, that's T Bird. That's the guy who played T Bird in The Crow. His crew, which includes this dude in a wheelchair, who I'll admit he's kind of cool. Some of his weapons, like his wheelchair turns into guns and shit. I'll admit that was cool. So, and then you have a scene, the basketball scene with Ripley and Ron Perlman, and her blood is acidic. So you basically is hinting that her blood is xenomorph. So that aspect about this film is interesting. I will say that, but I just don't think they go into it enough. You know what the other issue is? It feels like a B movie. I will say this though, the xenomorph effects are way better in this. They actually, and I'm like, they better. This is the same year as Jurassic Park: The Lost World came out, and Men in Black. Both movies which looked realistic at the time. So I'm like, the aliens better look good in this. We're a few years removed from Jurassic Park. There's no excuse by this point. So, but yeah, the aliens look a lot better in this. I don't like that they roar, and it could just be a minor nitpick. I understand some people are like that's not that big a deal, but my issue with it is it just doesn't sound right. I'm like, why are the xenomorphs roaring? Oh, that's the other thing. You see that these people are actually experimenting with the xenomorphs, and you see them use people as sadly test dummies for the xenos. Like with the face huggers and the xenomorphs. And yeah, the roar, it just doesn't work. I'm like, why is he roaring like? Why does he have a deep roar? The xenomorphs should have a screech, but whatever. Minor thing. So you have that basketball scene. Basically, the xenomorphs break out. We're also introduced to Call, who is Winona Ryder, who I'll admit, the whole twist of her being a robot was stupid. I'm just gonna spoil it. I'm not even gonna build up to it. It's stupid. It was out of nowhere. And then you have Dr. Wren, who's like the slimy. He's kind of like Burke from Aliens. He's like a cheap Burke from Aliens. Like he's that same kind of. He has to be with the crew, but he has his own ulterior motive. But it's just he's kind of boring. He's just there. Like I said, everybody's just kind of there. Winona Ryder, who's not a bad actress, I just, if they had just let her be a human, there was no need for her to be a whole android. That was such a stupid. Was not needed. But anyway, so the Xenos break out. Gentleman ends up getting taken by one of them. Some of the like I think General Perez and some people try to escape in a pod, but the xenomorphs stowed away on them, which I'll admit that was a good scene. And then basically now Ripley is now with the crew. I'll admit you have a funny scene where Ripley says, "I'll fuck one of you if you let me join." It was a funny scene. I'll admit it. Ripley, like I'll admit, like I think Sigourney Weaver's performance in this is fine, and you could tell she's enhanced because she has Xeno. So Elgin is killed, and basically the crew is basically has to try to find a way out. And then Ripley and the crew find this testing facility, which there's this scene I'll admit is really good, where Ripley finds like another clone, but it's like botched, like a botched clone of her. And I'll admit it's a really heartening scene, and seeing Sigourney in tears was actually kind of sad. And I wish we went more into that. That is something I wish we went more into. I feel like it's very surface level. Oh, well, this is what she can do. We're not going to go too into it, but we'll give you kind of a quick thing. So, Ripley, the clone of her, demands to be killed. So Ripley uses a flamethrower. Really kind of sad scene. I think then she beats up. She rages out on. I think it was Ren. Then they have to. They end up. This is, I'll admit, the one really good scene where they have to swim away from the Xenos in the water. I'll admit, really good scene. Nice little chase scene. Like I said, I think the action's really good. Like the action stuff is good. It's just the movie feels very much like a B movie though. Like you can have your issues with Alien 3, but Alien 3 still felt cinematic, minus some of the CGI. Aside from that, like I don't know, like yes, the CGI of the Xenos look better in this one. It just something about it. It just feels like a lower quality movie compared to the first three. Sorry, I have you can have your some issues with Alien 3, but something with this one, I don't know why it just feels a low budget to me. Minus some of the alien effects, because like I said, I think the alien effects look good, much better in this one, especially in the water scene. So the Xenos were chasing them. They end up killing Sabra, I think is this girl's name. She was whatever, like she was just there. She felt, you know what it felt like? She was almost like a rip-off Vasquez. I think that was some of my issue too. Look, the more I think about it, it really feels like they try to make Alien Resurrection like they wanted to go back to the. You could tell they kind of try to go back to the Aliens feel. It's more action. Like they don't have that horror element really in this one. You have a crew, with people with blasters. It's just they're not Marines. That's the only difference. But Saber feels like you have this chick who's kind of jacked with a gun. And I get it. You could say, well, that's kind of a reach, but I don't know. She feels like not everybody, but her specific. It just feels like they try to be aliens again. So they try to recapture. I don't know. I think they should have just kept going with the horror feel. I just think that works better. But so she dies, and they end up finding this shaft with a bunch of alien eggs, and Dr. Wren tries to lock them in, and then, Wren, you have this scene where he tries to take um, Call hostage. He seals everybody else inside, and basically Wren gets killed off. It's kind of like, it's basically the same kind of situation what happened with Burke. Like, it just, like I said, it's almost like they try to be aliens again. Like, Wren was Burke this time, but it just didn't work, because, I don't know. So this is where it's revealed that she's a robot, or an android. Like I said, it was stupid. It was not needed. Then Ripley gets taken because they were trying to figure out a way to escape. Um, she gets taken by the Xenos, and basically you see the connection. And this is where that newborn creature was. Oh my god. This part of the film was really. This shit was fucking weird. So the newborn tries to take Ripley as her mother, so she kills the queen. This pissed me the fuck off. Because I'm like, if you're gonna copy aliens, then might as well. Like, this is the first time we've seen the queen since the second movie. And you just kill her off like that. So Ripley gets away. She regroups with them, but the newborn creature, and this is then that's pretty much it. The rest of the film is the newborn. Like, you don't really see any more Xenos after, like regular Xenos. After that, it's so stupid, man. So yeah, Dr. Jetterman dies. He gets killed by the newborn when. It's so stupid. So they end up shooting the newborn out of a shaft, and they try to make it like this emotional thing, like Ripley like being really sad for it because it sees it as his. Those weird moments though where they're connecting, and it was weird, man. They end up landing on Earth, and that's pretty much the rest of the movie. I think the movie just ends very abruptly. They should have, you know what they should have did? They should have just had one or two Xenos stow away, and that's like maybe just drag it off like another 10 minutes. It would have been interesting to see them on Earth, and I don't know. I just feel like the film just abruptly ended, and then that stupid newborn, man. I would probably do a fixing on this movie eventually. And one thing I would fix is definitely get rid of that newborn shit. That shit was just too fucking weird. I would have just had the queen stow away. If you're gonna just fucking copy aliens, and that's what the more I really think about it, it does feel like it's trying to be Alien. You have this ragtag group of people, led by Ripley, the only thing she's a clone. You have an android, the queen's in there. You have a character similar to Burke, in Dr. Wren, who like double crosses them, and then he ends up. Oh yeah, I think he gets killed by the the fucking newborn, if I remember. But it's like you don't care. This film is terrible. Like, I think honestly, this film didn't need to exist. To me, it's not canon. I can watch it if I'm in the fucking mood. I don't think it's Last Jedi bad or even as bad as like a Mummy 3, but I think it's just not. It wasn't needed. And then the fact that they try to, I get it. They were trying to. It was once again studios overcorrecting. Like, so they're like, okay, people didn't like Alien 3, so let's just try to make it Aliens. It just didn't fucking work. You don't even really explore like the whole thing with how Ripley and the whole connection with the Zine. I would have rather them explore that. That's actually, you know what? You want to do my, you don't want to have fix this movie? You go more into that. I don't. I'm not even necessarily against the whole clone. I think it's like I said, Ripley is the only real positive I have on this movie. And like some of the action scenes were good. I think you had some good action sequences, especially the scene in the water. And like I said, the alien effects were far superior in this movie compared to the third one. But everything else is just, it's not good. I think the Xeno having a fucking lion roar doesn't work. Like this really deep roar, it just doesn't work. I don't know. I think and the whole twist with Call, like none of these characters you really feel for. It feels like a B movie. I'm sorry, it feels like a low budget B, like low budget in the sense of quality. I'm not talking about in budget because they probably had a bigger budget because the aliens looked good, so you had to have some decent amount of budget for that at the time. But just quality wise, I don't know. Because Alien 3 still felt like part of that franchise, even if I had some issues with it. For me, Alien 3 is where, storyline wise, is where it ended for me. Alien 3 is a good ending. Ripley died. Then AVP happens. You know, that's kind of how I look at it. I guess if you want, I would say if you want to watch it just to watch the franchise, it's all right. It's not the worst fucking movie in the world, but it's out of 10. I guess I give it like a 5.5 because, like I said, there's some decent stuff, but overall, it's not a good movie. So, but it's not bad enough to where I'm gonna fucking rant on it. But it's just still wasn't good. Then tomorrow we're gonna be doing like I said, the fixing Jurassic Park 3. I can't wait till we get to Thursday though, because Predator is gonna be awesome to review because that's like one of my favorite top five favorite movies of all time. If I had to put it like number, it'd probably be 3 or 4 in my films of all time. Just greatest films of all time for me. So it's up there. But other than that, Alien Resurrection was shit. Well, I wouldn't say shit, but it was not good. All right, fuck Mortal Kombat 2021. Fuck Freddy Bitch Jr. And fuck Hank Azaria. And fuck Warner Brothers. But other than that, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace!